Let's take a look at some of the scripting functions available with the reporting module. You see I have this very simple report set up here, just showing our function name parameter here. If we take a look at the data panel, we'll see that it's just an empty string. So we're going to go ahead and use this in a couple examples here. We'll scroll up in the project browser, and we'll take a look at our execute report window. Now in this window I have an empty PDF viewer. There's no bindings, it's not set to any report right now. And then we have a script on this button here. We'll open up the scripting menu, take a look. And you can see we're using system.report.execute report. Now this function returns a byte array of the report. And you can do all sorts of things with these bytes, like store them in your database or pass them directly into the PDF viewer, which is what I'm going to do here. When using this function, you need to specify the path. So this is the path in the project browser to the report. Next, you pass the project name that the report resides in. And then you can override any parameters like I'm doing with the function name here. And then you need to specify a format. And the way we're getting it into the PDF viewer is we're using this load bytes PDF that's on the PDF viewer component. So let's click OK and put the designer into preview mode. We'll click the button and there's a report. And as you can see, our parameter's been overridden and it's showing up on our report. Next, let's take the designer out of preview mode. We'll head over to my execute and distribute window and we'll take a look at this execute and distribute button. We'll right click and take a look at the scripting. So this is using system.report.execute and distribute. Now this takes execute report a little further. It doesn't return anything, but it does run an action on the report. So you can email, print, save to an FTP server, or save the report locally. Now this happens immediately, so you can have your users run an action on a report without them having to enter the designer. Now remember, reports run in the gateway, so when you call a save action like this, it's going to be relative to the gateway. All I'm doing here is I'm specifying which report, so script report again, the project name report. I'm overriding my parameter, my function name parameter here. There's an action argument that's just saying I want to save this. And then there's some action settings. Now the action settings are going to be different depending on whatever action you're using here. So the action settings for save would be the path to wherever I want the file to be saved, whatever I want the file to be named, and then what format I want to save it in. So let's give it a shot. We'll click OK. We'll move the designer out of the way a little bit, put this into preview mode, click our button. There it is. We'll open this up, and here's our report. We'll close this, and we'll head back to our designer. I'm going to take the designer out of preview mode. And the last thing I want to show you is an extension function on the report viewer component, so I'll drop one onto the window here. We'll right-click, go into scripting, and you see there's this onReportGenerated extension function. This is triggered every time the report's generated. So changing the report path, for example, would trigger it. Changing a parameter on the report viewer component, that would trigger it. So say, for example, you wanted to use our message handlers to let everyone know when a report's been generated, or write to a tag when a report's been generated, or something to that effect. You can go ahead and do that right here.